Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Emily, the CEO and co-founder at FROGED. Hello.
Hello, Christian.
Very nice to meet you. Please tell us what your company does.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us and for inviting me to be part of this podcast and talking about FROGED and what we do. We define ourselves as a product success platform, and that is a SaaS, which is very much the evolution of customer success and support linked to product. So yeah, that's what we do.
Awesome. What would you say is the biggest problem that you solve for companies?
So first, we focus very much in other platforms, other SaaS. So there are two main challenges, I would say, instead of problems, which is one, conversion. So converting clients from trial to paying clients, and then churn, avoiding churn, and of course, making sure you optimize your client base and your users life cycle. So those two would be the main challenges we solve.
Thanks for sharing. What are the top 3 features of the product?
So one of them is very much focusing on onboarding, so creating outstanding onboarding. The other would be engagement, and the third one is support with superpowers. We would say. In fact, it's not features, it's kind of parts, because each of them has several features, but those would be like the 3 main
Products.
exactly key
Yeah.
touch points, I would say.
Awesome. And I saw the churn calculator. I really enjoyed it. Please tell us more the strategy behind that. Why did you decide to put it out there?
To work on churn. In fact, I would say that for many SaaS, one of the main reasons why they die is because they don't control the churn they have. So we do not help directly to prevent churn. So we prevent potential churn from happening. So through understanding your users' behavior, you can also track and anticipate behaviors that could lead to potential churn, so that you can act in advance and prevent this from happening. So this is very much where, this is something we practice with ourselves, and we help other companies practice as well. So
I understand.
yeah.
What are the use cases of FROGED?
Sorry?
What are the use cases of FROGED?
Okay, the use cases is very much connected to the 3 touch points that I told you about the platform. So we really help many companies creating those outstanding onboarding. So many companies come searching for that onboarding, and then suddenly they understand that the fact of connecting that onboarding with all the way to support brings them a lot of value. Some others, they come first because of the support. In terms of reactivity, I think that support is something that comes in mind first whenever you are creating a company. So in those cases, they understand as well that while creating this outstanding support and moving towards a proactive space, allows you also to treat easily and more consciously the life cycle of any user. So that again connects to the beginning, which is that onboarding I was talking with you. So those would be. And then when we say engagement, we also allow companies to understand, and again, through users' behavior, tracking users' behavior, you can understand and create campaigns that allow you to work easily or better your upselling, your cross-selling opportunities. So that is also one of the use cases that FROGED has.
Fantastic. And what would you say is your favorite customer success story? So a story of a happy client and how you help them improve their rate. Yeah.
Okay, wow. We have a few, I would say. I love the way we are transforming this support. I always say that there is a game-changing aspect, which is moving companies from having just a cost center, which is where we place support, into a revenue center, which is the moment you understand that you can move it towards that proactive space I was talking about, and connecting that with that life cycle, user's life cycle, allows you also to move to that space where you, more than creating a cost, you're creating revenue. And I would say that's one of my favorites. So, those clients moving from that reactivity to that proactivity, from that cost center to that revenue center, that's the one I would highlight.
I think you get a lot of joy by helping companies with that. Yeah. What is the pricing for FROGED?
The pricing, in fact, we do have several plans. All of them are public. So if you go to our website, froged.com, you will reach out to them. And there are two variables that are the drivers for those plans. And those variables are the number of seats or agents you are using that are using FROGED, and then the other one is MAU, monthly active users, that you could have. So just a combination of those two drivers will allow you to be in one or other plan. And of course, the higher you go in the plans, the more functionalities or the deeper functionalities you will have.
Absolutely. And is having a pricing public differentiator in your industry? Because I know a lot of software in that space that you have to book a call to find out the pricing, and yeah.
That is very true. In fact, I would say that pricing is a subject that never ends. So I think that most SaaS are always thinking about, how should I price my product? How should I evolve my pricing? And we are there also. So we are always thinking which is the best way we should be, how is the more equal, how we are providing the maximum value, and and just charging the reasonable cost. So
Yes.
we're always there. So, our philosophy is to be very transparent and very honest, so very open. And I think everything, our talks, the way we speak in our website, the fact that our pricing is public, I think that talks a lot of who we are and how we understand businesses should proceed. And that being said, of course, pricing is something that evolves as we do evolve. So, if you want to keep that seat, just get there as soon as possible so we keep those prices. And that would be my advice, I would say.
That's very appreciated. And I wanted to ask you, what are other differentiators that FROGED has in this competitive space?
Okay. So I always say that we are kind of the new neighbors in town.
Okay.
And from my point of view, we are really creating a new category in the software. So that's why I was starting telling you that we are not a customer success product. We are a product success software. And the main difference would be that idea, that philosophy that lies behind. The fact that we connect, as I said, that cost center, driving it to a revenue center, I would say that is one of our key differentiators. And then we are quite flexible at the time of moving. Even though we have many B2B clients, we also have those B2B reaching B2C. So we have that flexibility, and we are very much aware of providing value to our clients as a way of us to grow. So I would say those are the key differentiators. And then there is something, and this is a quote that me, myself, I'm especially proud of. I am a very fan and a believer of, what I call human power technology. So every technology that allows humans to have superpowers, that's the one I believe in and FROGED believes in. So everything we develop at FROGED is very much with the objective of creating those superpowers for teams, for human teams. And that's very much what we follow. So if you are going to ask me, Emily, which is the path you're going to follow, I think that's the driver that is going to lead our decisions.
That's wonderful. Super happy for you. And now more on the company side. I love to hear when you started the company and why you decide to solve this particular problem.
So FROGED was founded in 2019. And it was three of us, three founders. It's Angel, Juanjo, and myself. So Angel, our CTO, he's the one that I would say brought the seed. So he had developed two previous SaaS to FROGED, and he has faced those problems. So when he came to Juanjo and myself, he came with kind of a map. I always call it a map. He was so sure about the idea of creating a meta SaaS, a SaaS for other SaaS, and just the fact of, joining all the dots from any user lifecycle is one of the key pains that he faced in his previous experience. And that was the very beginning of FROGED. So for Juanjo and me, it was like quite obvious. Of course, we did some deep research. So the three of us combined with our experiences, which is, we have so different backgrounds, the three of us. So we thought we had like the perfect team, or the perfect founding team to start this adventure together.
Fantastic. And how big is the overall team right now?
So we've been growing since that year. We launched in the market in 2020, by the way. And I believe that is going to be one of the questions to come. And so it's 17. We aim to end the year at near 20. And a driver that we currently have is to be very lean also in terms of team. So we prefer to be a smaller team, very able to scale the business. But yeah, that's the very number for this year.
And have you raised any funding?
Yeah, we did. We did have 2 rounds, seed rounds, and then it's kind of a bridge, and it's a total over 800. I always talk euros, okay, 800,000, and we're planning to raise a Series A next year. So if anyone who's listening is interested, just come and reach out to me. So yeah, that's very much a plan.
Did you see any problems with raising in these times?
No, in fact, I think it's been, it's been game changing. And the fact of we are changing a bit the game in various senses. We are super proud of having such a well-distributed team in terms of female, male, in terms of, the location. We are out from the US, and that is also a challenge, but we are really proud of what we've achieved in terms of not only funding, but also clients and, agreements with partners. So, yeah.
What did you say was your biggest challenge since joining the company, starting the company?
I would say that, starting a company is already a challenge, and you will not stop from having challenges till maybe you're exited, and even after you will have other type of challenges.
Yes.
So I would say that as we grow, the challenges grow together, and they become like different in terms of, okay, so maybe at first it's like, you need that funding, then you need the right people to join the team, then you need the right agreements. Then when you have to decide, because being a product means that you have to take a lot of decisions which are going to be driving your future. Where do I want to bring my product towards? And so I would say it's constant challenges. So being an entrepreneur, being a founder means you have to develop a lot of resilience, and to be able to observe things from like a bit step back from that emotions or that roller coaster that any entrepreneurship will be. And and be ready, because don't think that once you have overcome one challenge, one big challenge, that's the last one, because I'm sure there are more to come.
Of course. But what's one mistake that you did and you can share with the audience?
So I think, and I'm sure many people will agree with me in this, but sometimes we have to practice a lot of assertivity, and I'm talking about the team. So whenever you see that someone doesn't fit the team, and by any chance, so don't waste much time in taking decisions, because that will affect the whole group. And so, you have to be very assertive at those times. So yeah, that would be my very much advice. There are many others, but that would be one.
Thank you. How did you get your first customers?
In fact, as I was explaining to you, these product market fit tests also allow us to get our first customers and our first people explaining, publicly how FROGED works and what they thought about the product. And then we've always practiced, even though we have an important inbound channel and partnership channel, outbound has also been always a channel we use because we need and we want to have this direct feedback from the market. And so also through that channel, we got clients, of course.
So which one of those would you say is the most successful today?
Today, wow, because it's been changing. Today, I would say it's partners and inbound, but it used to be outbound.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. What is the vision for the future of the company?
So we believe we are here to change. And I was telling you that we're like the new neighbors in town, creating a new category. So we believe very much that there is a change which is happening, is already happening. We've all heard about this PLG. We are all like very PLG driven. And so many changes around that are happening. And I think we're very much like in the middle of those changes. The way we understand, the way we have developed FROGED, and it keeps on developing, I think is it was what really brings that difference. So we believe we're going to be like that reference for the product success platforms in the near future. So yeah.
I wish you all the best. Okay, now more on the personal side. I'd love to hear how you started your career.
Wow, I have like a long story and a long background behind me. And I'm this person that has worked for big companies, and I've always been an entrepreneur. So I was like developing, new countries, opening new countries, and opening a new branch or a new. When people ask me, Emily, you think that entrepreneur is born? Are you born as an entrepreneur or you are made? So I would say that it's a combination of both, but there is something you should have in your DNA, let's say. And, for anyone who knows me, everyone would say that, Emily was meant to be an entrepreneur. And it's in her personality, in her veins, in her, way of being. And I do believe that too. And I think that whenever you decide to start a business, you're also starting a new you that is willing to evolve at a faster speed than, the media outside. So it's like you look outside and you say, I'm moving much faster than they are and I need to. So yeah, that's very much. So I lived, before starting FROGED, I lived in Brazil for 7 years. I was there with an energy company from Spain, a multinational company. But before that, I also used work in retail and in the embassy in Malaysia. So I lived in several countries, and then I decided to move back and start FROGED.
Fantastic. Lovely story. And what would be your best piece of advice for a starting founder?
I would say that, soft skills are the most important ones. The other things you can learn them, but focus in having the confidence, trust yourself, trust the way, and surround yourself with the right people. And I think those are key factors or key ingredients for a success recipe. So yeah.
Totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing. I have one last question for you. What's your favorite SaaS product that you use and you can share with us, apart from FROGED?
Okay, wow. That is because if, for example, from the team, we particularly love Notion. But there are so many others. I mean, I remember when we started, we did kind of a search to understand how many SaaS products are being used by SaaS. Mm-hmm. And the average number is 37. That's huge. But in fact, we're using over that. So it's like, there are so many products. So, I mean, Notion is one that we particularly like, but, there are some others more specific to different areas of the company that we're also in love with, or some of them we see them evolving and we love that too. So, but if I have to highlight one, let's say that. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you want to mention on today's podcast?
Well, I love the way you asked me, which would be the piece of advice that I would give, because, when I search and when I listen to other entrepreneurs, and I always listen to that piece of advice because it's always like a way to make your path shorter, or
Exactly.
you don't need to fail that much as someone has. You can fail somewhere else, but not there.
Yes.
So I would say that to end, that's like the best part. So just trust yourself, have confidence in yourself, work very hard on those soft skills and surround yourself with the right people. So
thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. I really
Christian.
enjoyed our conversation. And you did fantastic. I'm super grateful.
Okay, so thank you very much. And count on me for anything you need.